That's how your heart actually is heard if you hear the stethoscope. I'm not trying. I promise I'm going to quote this in some future classes. This is where I get all the material for my classes. I just love that. So the heart is going on a repetitive journey. The blood is pumped out of the heart, goes throughout the body, comes back, again pumped out, goes around and comes. The heart is constantly repeating. So there is a repetition. That is a japa. So what is a japa is a repetition. Second is, there should be a rhythm to it. Now rhythm means that the gap between the repetition needs to be in a similar time gap. So rhythm implies the gap between beats. The beats themselves are the repetition. The gap between the beats determines the rhythm. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Every time I tap like this, it's the repetition. Repetition, repetition, repetition. And the gap between these two taps, 1, 2, 3, 4, is the rhythm. Repetition, regular.
Repetition, regular.
Repetition, rhythm, rhythm, repetition, rhythm. Okay? Now comes the tough one, regularity. See, regularity here implies a commitment. So, you can have repetition and you can have a rhythm. But then what happens is, after 2 weeks in the ashram, you go back and stop doing anything. So you had repetition, you had rhythm, but regularity has got lost. So regularity is to stick to the purpose. Regularity is fidelity. You know, you can go to a job for 1 month and from 8 to 5 you can work there. So that is repetition, there is a rhythm. But then if after 1 month you don't go and you come back after 3 months, and then after 6 months you come back, they'll say you are irregular and they'll terminate your job. So irregularity means when you cannot keep up that commitment to which you had started with. So with sadhana, commitment to it is the regularity part. Not giving up. To put it that way, not giving up is regularity. Doing it again and again is repetition. The gap between one doing and the next doing is the rhythm. Good? Thank you for asking that because it made me clarify it for myself. Was that correct?
Yeah.
Did I say it as good as you?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. It's one of Ammaji's favorite statements when it comes to sadhana and abhyasa. She said because many people, they'll really get into it and for 1 month, we find that with yoga step by step. People will take off and in 3 days, Dr. Ananda hears lesson 1 and in another 4 days hears lesson 2 and in another 10 days there's lesson 3 and then by the end of the month there's lesson 4 and then for 6 months you don't hear it. What happened? Amma used to say, did you drop off the face of the earth? It was a common, did you drop off the face of the earth? Many students. Recently I had someone phone me and I haven't heard from the person in about 8 years. How are you, sir? Everything going fine? I'm thinking of coming in visit. I'm like, no. No. Like 8 years you haven't bothered to keep in touch. 8 years you have no idea whether we are alive or not. 8 years you have not bothered to even tell us what your life is or what's going on. And suddenly you just want to come in as if 8 years doesn't exist. This is not Marvel comics. Snap and 5 years later. canvas and snap. And suddenly everybody appears. Where is the fidelity in that? I think this is something that Amma, she used to say that initially she used to value talent. She used to value talent and ability. And she said later on I started to value stickability. She said stickability in the end was more important than talent and all that ability. Because with stickability, our motto at Yogacharini Nada Yoga Training, very beautiful motto she made. Because the kids coming, hundreds of kids would come every week. She said, making the ordinary great. No, what is that? No, making the ordinary extraordinary and making the extraordinary great. That was her thing. And over the years, we used to see this, a kid who had virtually, I hate to say it, but zero talent. They'll come